Hey guys, on this first video, I'm going to go through and do a couple of problems from your homework on handout 29. So remember, these are our percent fraction decimal conversions. The first one I want to work is the last percent problem. So it is 20 and 2/7%. All right, so we need to convert this into both a fraction and a decimal. So this needs to be rewritten. Anytime we have this mixed number, let's look at the improper version first. So remember, in order to do that, oh, my cat's coming to visit, so this could be a problem. I'm going to go 7 times 20 is 140. 140 plus 2 is 142. So that gives me my numerator, and my denominator is still going to be 7. Now notice the percent sign is still there. Okay, so I haven't gotten rid of that yet. So if I want to make it into a fraction, remember that I have to replace the percent sign with something equivalent. I have a couple of options. That's a 2, sorry. I can use divide by 100, or I can use multiply by 1 over 100. So what's happening is this percent here is being replaced with this. All right, my cat's playing with the blinds. All right, so if I multiply across, I get 142 over 700. Both of those numbers are even, so I can reduce that, and that looks like 71 over 350. All right, so keep in mind on all these problems, you can check them with the calculator, but you do have to show all of your work, so you want to make sure that you are showing that. All right, so now let's look at the decimal. This is the hardest part. The first thing I need to do is I need to go back and I need to write 2/7 as a decimal. All right, so I'm going to just come down here and I'm going to think about 2/7. All right, so if I do my long division, remember the sevenths are the bad ones. They go out 6 places before they repeat. Okay, so 7 goes into 20 twice. A remainder of 6. 7 goes into 68 times. That's 56, remainder of 4. 7 goes into 45 times. Okay, 7 goes into 57 times. And I have to keep going until something repeats. So 7 goes into 10 once. And 7 goes into 34 times. Now when I get to here, I get a remainder of 2. So I'd be doing 7 into 20. Which is what I started with. So once I see that matching up, I know that it's going to start repeating. So it's just going to go 2, 8, 5, 7, 1, 4. Now don't write this as your answer yet, because remember this means 20.285714 repeating percent. So I haven't gotten rid of that percent sign yet. All right, so I'm going to come over here. And I'm going to think of that as repeating. So I'm going to put a ... And then I'm going to replace my percent sign with something equivalent. So once again, the percent sign gets replaced with divide by 100. That moves my decimal over 2 places when you divide by 100. So I end up with 0.20285714. Now the 2 and the O are not repeating, the 2 and the 0, but the rest is. So this would be a simplified but not approximated answer. So that one is probably the worst one on the page. So let's go ahead and try another one. I'm going to clear this one out real quick. And then let's try from the fraction part. Let's try 9/8. Okay, so I'm starting with a fraction. Let's say I want to go to the percent. Remember, the trick is I have to figure out how to get a percent sign into my answer. So in order to do that, I am always allowed to multiply by something that is equivalent to 1. And remember that 100% is equivalent to 1. So then I just think about where I want to put my parentheses. Right, I'm going to put them right here. And I want to think of that 100 as being 100 over 1. So then I want to look and see if I can reduce. So it looks like 8 and 100 are both divisible by 4. So that goes 2 times and 25 times. Okay, so 9 times 25, if you go over and work that out, it comes out to be 225 over 2, but now I have a percent sign on there. But I do need to write this as a mixed number, so I'm going to do a little bit of long division. 2 into 225 goes once, twice, with a remainder of 1. So that's going to be 112.5%. Okay, so now I have to get the decimal. I have a couple of choices. I could take the 9/8 and do long division, or if I want, I can go from the percent. I know that 112.5 is 112.5%, so I think this is the easiest way to go. I'm going to replace the percent with divide by 100. So remember, anytime you take the percent out, you have to replace it with something equivalent. That moves my decimal over 2 places, and I get 1.125 as my decimal. Now, if you did long division, let me just go ahead and work it this way as well. That would be 8 into 9, so the 8 goes on the outside. So 8 goes into 9 once. There's your decimal. 8 goes into 10 once. 8 goes into 20 twice. And 8 goes into 40 5 times. So you could have also gone this route, and that would have given you the same answer. Okay, so the last one I want to do is the next to last problem. So let me clear this out one more time. You can always go back and rewatch the video if I deleted that too fast. So I want to look at this one, 0.365 with a bar over all of them. Now the fraction's actually pretty easy. I take 365, since I have 3 repeating digits, I put it over 3 9s. All right, and I don't think that one reduces, so that's the fraction. So that one's pretty easy to do. Now let's look at the percent. Remember, I need to get a percent sign in where I don't already have one. So let's take this number and let's think of it this way. I like to write out my repeating. So I know that that's repeating over and over again. So to get my percent sign in there, I'm going to multiply by 100%. Remember, that's equivalent to 1. And then I'm thinking about grouping it this way. So multiplying by 100 moves your decimal 2 places to the right. So now what I'm seeing is 36.536536, and so on. But now I have a percent on there. All right, so notice that my repeating part now starts with a 5. So the 5, the 3, and the 6 are repeating. All right, so I put the bar over that. I've got my percent, and that is my final answer.